Good morning, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful Saturday morning. I surely have. I'll be starting streaming pretty soon. Just gonna upload some stuff first of all. Yeah, just bear with me for a moment. Just gonna share it with my Twitter followers. Today I'm going to tackle a problem that I haven't really touched upon yet. I never done this before. It's a level streaming. So today the plan is to implement an actual loading screen for my game. While I was in school, or just tackling projects for my university course, I never really had to think about proper loading screens for my games because we usually just developed a piece of game, like a vertical slice. That's how we call it in the industry. And usually they were only contain one level, maybe two, but with two, three small levels, you could get just away with a node called open level. But because I'm developing something more serious in a sense, like I really would like to do this game as my first game that I actually going to release at some point. I would love to release the game. Because of that, I need to implement a smarter technique, which is called level streaming, and that's what I'm going to actually learn today. Because it might be a surprise for you, or for the most of you. But as a developer, you never really stop learning, and the way you learn is using tutorials, man. Everyone does. I needed a couple of years, even today, when I'm in my fourth year, my final year of uni, I still can't really believe that in the game industry, actual developers are still using tutorials when they're developing a AAA game. But it is what it is. Like, it's hard to tackle. It's hard to get your head wrap around it. But this is just the reality of game making. So today I'm gonna use a tutorial for that as well. I never use level streaming. I never had to. So obviously I need to learn it. And the best way to do so is to look up how it's been done. And the thing is, though, when you develop a game and when you follow a tutorial, you don't just blindly follow it. That's the key to learn game development. Yeah, sure. When you start up, you don't know anything about C#, about Unreal Blueprints, about C++. So you kind of just go along with the videos, with the tutorials. But after you gain a bit of knowledge and you have at least a basic understanding of the coding and the framework and the logic behind the code, you should start to understand, try to understand what the tutorial is about. Because if you just follow it blindly, you won't be able to implement something on your own. Like watching tutorials, learning things, you can then say, okay, I learned all of this particular thing, let's say character movement, from a tutorial, but I want to change some stuff in the character controller. Let's say my character needs to do double jump, or my character needs to be able to reverse gravity and not falling, or I don't know, something silly. You can name it. If you don't understand the code that you were following and written from the tutorial, if you don't understand how it comes together and make it your character controller, you won't be able to go in there and edit it and tailor it for your needs. So I always recommend, when you watch a tutorial, when you do something from tutorial, it's okay. It's the way to learn, but don't forget to learn. Don't forget to think. Don't forget to actually put your mind on it and understand what you're doing with it. Yeah, that's my 2 cents for the day. Oh, I don't need this. It's fine. Yep. I'm not even sure how long I'm gonna stream today. Probably another 4 hours, like the last time, because when I develop, I can get in the zone and just do my stuff. So there we go. Okay. So first of all, let me just say that since the last stream, I iterated. Yeah, I wouldn't say iterated. I changed some stuff in the prologue level. Not really. I haven't done much. It's more like touching bases and make it even more popping in there. Let me just show it to you. If you haven't seen the small video and GIF I've uploaded on Twitter or on my LinkedIn. Yeah, not here. Because I'm already working on the level streaming, as you guys can see. So let's just open up the cave map. Yeah. So basically this first level, this prologue level, it's like 1 minute, maybe 2 minutes long. You just really been introduced to this scene, and after that the story starts. But because after that there is gonna be I was thinking to implement a small scenario in an office. We are going to do the level streaming from a main menu, and this is what I've done. It's been advised to me from one of my friends at university that it would be really cool if something cinematic could happen on the bridge, and this is just it. It just makes the experience better, I think. So yeah, that's where we are. This is where the prologue ends. And after that, another level, probably a cutscene, like a storytelling cutscene will come in, and then a short cutscene where I just have like a still image and text going on, and then a really small scene, like an office kind of thing where two characters have a conversation, the protagonist and someone else, not sure yet. And then the level I'm working on for this particular project, just to finish up my university's honors project, and then I can develop further later on. But that's where it should end, my project for my honors, for my university stuff, the second level. But before I do that, I need to introduce some sort of level loading system. And for that, I quickly threw together a main menu. It's a widget, and it's gonna be on a empty level, basically. So really quickly, I can even show what I've done. So that's screen. What you can see on the screen here is basically an end of level screen where you can buy new skills for yourself. You can, on the right hand side, you will see how many health you have, how much health you have, how many red orbs you currently own, so you can if you can afford to buy something. This is a video, so it's just showcasing the actual skill, so you have like a preview of the skill, some text as well. And I pretty much just duplicated this. At this point, I am not really fussed about the main menu's visual right now. I just needed a visual. So like this, I have title, I have like the same buttons as you can see, and it has controller support. Especially for widgets, even in Unreal 5.2, is a bit shaky. In blueprints, let me make this clear. Unreal Engine is a really powerful engine if you do things in C++, so programming. The best way, I think, to actually make a game in Unreal Engine, if you code your math, basically, so any mechanic, any kind of game mechanics that includes calculation should be done in C++ with the ability to be able to basically just expose those line of codes in Blueprint. The reason why it's a good idea to use Blueprints and C++ together, a programmer can write the framework of your game in C++, and a game designer can use Blueprints, Unreal Blueprint, to quickly prototype something or change some values, so can balance out game feel, gameplay. After a QA test, can go in and modify some values really quickly. Most game designers know Unreal Blueprints. Not many of them know C++ code. I know some because I decided to learn some C++, but for this project, for me it's a bigger project, and my C++ skills are basic at this point. So I didn't really want to take up that kind of challenge to learn how to implement the things I want in my game in C++. It wouldn't be really smart because I only have like 5 months to finish this project, and because I'm not efficient in C++, it just, you know, I just had to teach that kind of idea or scope it down basically. So back to this screen, pretty simple. I just have buttons here, and if I load up the actual map, the main menu map, like I said, this is just an empty level. I only have like a player start at the beginning, like position, and the level streaming volume. I'm gonna talk about it a bit just now, later on. And when the level starts, open the level blueprint. Yes, thank you. So when the level starts, scalability settings for my game, it's a visual thing. I need to have certain options, quality level at a certain level, and that's how I can do it. But then it just creates the widget, it adds to the viewport, and this is the thing. I have like a start screen where you just press space or A button on the controller or X with a PlayStation controller, and it brings up the menu. And these two nodes are actually the controller support here. So without it, it wouldn't focus on a single button. It actually tells you here. So we set the input mode, game and UI, and we put, like you see, in widget to focus, we put the main menu widget. So this one, we put in focus, and we also set the focus and the keyboard focus to a button. So if I connect my controller, and just play the game, it messed up at the point, but it's just fine. Start, so it's there, and when I hit start, this comes up. You can see the cave map level as well, because I haven't finished the level loading right now. It's a work in progress, but that's what I wanted to show. You can control it. You actually have new games selected already for that kind of thing. So this is basically controller support for widgets in Unreal Engine. But actually, I don't want the new game button. I want the continue button. This is just just a small change. I might like it better. All right. I'm not gonna do anything with the main menu widget. Visually, this is just fine. It serves my purpose for the work I want to do today. But I'm gonna open this up because I have some sort of codes, some codes here, and because I really don't like to write a code again and again and again, I'm just gonna copy paste some of these stuff, especially like place sound. If I'm already there, I just finish it up. So level streaming versus open level. Many people, and this is hard. Like I was looking for stuff like level loading and loading screens for a while now, because Slav, thank you Slav. He just said awesome. So I was looking for a way to introduce loading screens for a while now, to be honest, because I always knew that I will need loading screens in my game. And almost every tutorial came up with this open level, either by name or reference. And before this node, they just put a delay node in there for like 5 seconds. And even before that, they just create a widget, something like this, like an actual, loading screen widget. But the problem with this setup, the open level node is not an async node. So what happens when you implement a loading screen like this, that you have a widget here, just for purposes, let's do this. So you have a widget here, it shows on the screen, you have a delay node hooked in. So after the delay node, you put a remove from parent there, and you hook it up to open level. That's not a loading screen, because what it does, it just shows something on the screen for 5 seconds. Then it removes it from the screen and opens the level. And if you have a bigger level, it just gonna stuck on black because it needs to load. This is not happening parallel here when you code, especially in blueprints. And that was something I needed to understand, and it had been a long time for me to actually understand that this here is the flow of the logic. So it's coming from left to right. That happens, that happens, that happens, that happens, that happens, and that happens. That's the flow of it. So it's not what we want. It's not like this, just to visually try to show it to you. It's not like you opening the level, and while the level is opening, you are showing something on the screen. No, you showed something on the screen, and then you opened the level, loaded the level. This is not level loading. For a small game, sure, when you don't have like many actors on a map, you don't even need loading screens. But if you're working, especially like, let's say, an open world game where you have a huge map, or like mine, when I have all this stuff in here, and even this is just, an enclosed area, but I have so many actors here, it will load on many computers. I reckon even on my computer it's gonna load a lot. Okay, in the meantime while I'm speaking, let's just build all the lights. That's why there's a red X marked next to some of the bulbs, lighting bulbs. So this is not good. I don't want to do that. I don't want level or open level. Instead, what I'm going to do is something called level streaming. And I haven't done it before. So this is something new for me. And I hope you guys will enjoy this learning process with me. Because I have another screen, I hooked it up, I have a tutorial video that I actually found on level streaming, explaining the differences between the two. That's why I know the difference between the two as well, because, learning. Later on, I'm gonna link both tutorials actually in the chat. So if you're interested knowing how to do that, you can always check it out, and it's just fair to actually credit the person who is lending me a hand, virtual hand. So let's just do that now. So while the lighting builds, I'm just going to link this to the chat. Because it's awesome, you know? Deserves all the credits. So, I was in the middle of it before the stream, just basically did the setup. No problem at all, Slav. I was in the middle of it, and I just need basically the levels and the level details. If you can't find these, by the way, they are not on default. You can go to window and just pick levels, and to showcase level details, you just hit summon level details button, that one just there. And the way it kind of works, as far as I understand at this point, I'm there. All right, some questions in the meantime. I just, ticked my eyes. What do you think about Godot engine? All right, I have question. Would you do any Unity projects? Okay, so Godot got some exposure and recognition after the fiasco with Unity recently. Godot is an upcoming, recently updated, still working, not work in progress, I wouldn't say work in progress engine, but there are many updates and recent updates as well, and they are coming out really in a really short period of time. So Godot engine is something to look into. I think in a couple years it can be really good, I would say. Right now you can start to use it because it's there, it's free, and it's accessible, it's efficient if you know what you're doing with it. The only thing is, when a new engine comes out, like Unreal Engine 5, let's talk about Unreal Engine 5. Why we don't see games of Unreal Engine 5? It's been out for years. Well, because game development doesn't happen from one day to another. So we are in the time right now where we see games releasing with Unreal Engine 5 or 5.1. There is always a delay, and this is the same with Godot, I think. We will see games a couple years later, like 2 years, 3 years later, if you talk about AAA games, or more likely double A games, because big studios like to use their own engines most of the time. And Unity project, yeah, I have Unity projects as well. In my first year at the university, we actually been introduced to Unity first because of C#, and it's just easier to understand and start learning about game development, because C# is actually a really easy programming language. My experience, my pathway, if you may, when I started university, that was the first time I've seen code in my entire life. Like, I never coded anything. I was working with websites before, but not many websites. I built some, but I didn't have a huge experience in code, especially not in C#, Python, C++. No, not at all. Still, I was able to learn it, and mostly because of my lecturer, and mostly because of that first module that I had in the first year about Unity and C#. It just slowly takes you to make a game, My first game was a 2D platformer. A 2D beat 'em up with the Flash. from the DC universe. It was fun, yeah. If I ever make a 2D game or a small game, a card game, something like that, I would always use Unity. I know my new game, Demon Sword, this one is 2D because I'm using 2D sprites, but I needed Unreal Engine's lighting system and Unreal Engine's system to tackle three-dimensional objects, because this is a fusion. My game is a fusion of 2D sprites and the 3D environment, and I needed all the spectacles basically, and that's why I'm developing this game in Unreal Engine. Will you release your game? Yes, I would love to release this game. That's why I'm streaming it, to get some, even feedback as well. Like, I really wanted to know what you guys think about the game. If you like it, if you would play it, the demo version, if I release it on Steam later this year. That's the whole reason why I'm developing it, and I really wanted to be transparent. Like, I believe that game developers should talk about the way they develop games. I understand that sometimes it's against policies, but we could be more open, to be honest. We could be more open. On Steam, yeah. Will it cost money, and if so, how much? This game looks awesome. Should I start with Unity or should I use Unreal Engine? Up to you. Unreal Engine's visual scripting tool is, for me, it was hard, especially after C#. But if you start with Unreal Engine's visual scripting tool, the blueprints, it's gonna be harder to use C#, and you might never want to do coding after you experience that. But this is a trap, because while Unreal Engine's blueprint system is really powerful, efficient for smaller projects, and really easy to prototype a game, you want to have programming knowledges, because at some point when you develop a more serious game, a bigger game, you want to use C++, and C++ is much harder than C#. But without knowing any programming language, it's almost impossible to just jump right into C++. Yes, it's gonna be on Steam, and around 10 to 15 pounds, I think. So it's not gonna be really expensive, because it's a small game, maybe 1.5 to 2 hours long, small indie game. So I'm not gonna ask for a lot of money. Even £10 seems a bit too expensive for a 2 hours game, but I don't know, I'm not sure yet. My background in computer science, so I'm studying game design and production, and that's why I know game design and how to make games. So basically my computer science background is non-existent. No, I live in Scotland. I study game design and production at Alberta University in Dundee. Oh, in USD, you mean in dollars? That would be 12. So if I go for £10, that's like $12, I think. So let me just I love questions, and I always going to answer all these questions as well. Just let me try to come back to my level streaming system. It's so hard, and I mean, it looks complicated, to be honest. It's not that hard, I guess. Like everything in Unreal and game development, it's just you need to understand what you're doing. So in levels and level streaming, basically what it does, I have a persistent level, and the persistent level, if I just toggle the level visibility here, my persistent level is nothing. I don't have anything in here, just a player start position and the level streaming volume. The level streaming volume is as big as my cave map level, as you can see. So in this volume, what it does, as far as I understand, and someone's here has, you know, a better understanding of this, please help me out. In this volume, what I put in this volume will load on either always, because I can just change the streaming method here from always loaded to blueprint. I actually need blueprint because I want to load it when I want to load this level. But as far as I understand, when I have this stuff, what I have this in this volume will load, and it has to be on the persistent level. But it's not big enough. Good, yeah, sure. So in the details panel, that's the Z one. Just make it bigger. Sure. Yep. It's there, isn't it? Yeah. Cool. Let's see the top. The top is fine. Yeah, everything is in there. Okay. Ooh, slow down the camera. Cool. All right. I'll let you get to work. Thanks. Thanks. If you have questions, you know, don't hold it back. I like to help. I like to talk. I like to meet new people. Okay, let's get this tutorial going as well. Okay, so blueprint. Blueprint. It must be visible, okay. But it's blueprint like that. So if I just go to the persistent level, select it like that, and open the game, it shouldn't load at all. Why does it load? What does it load though? Ah. I think I know. I think I know. It loads the stuff I've put on the, where is it? Cave map. It loads the stuff I put in the level blueprint. So if I do this, just for purposes, testing purposes, it won't load anything from the main menu. Still there, still blueprint. It loads the music because there is somewhere like play on start. Where is it? That's the thing when you try to implement something afterwards. It's looping. I'm pretty sure there's somewhere like play on start. No. Okay. Though, because maps, cave map. Yeah, it starts from 0 and fade volume 1.15. When it's fade in, I can just pretty much take the volume to 0. Yep, cool. Save it. It's stupid, the idea of mine, but you never know. Because I've seen something like sub-levels. There you are. Okay, so I can get access to the sub-level blueprint. So I'm pretty sure I can somehow tell the engine that only do stuff, my stuff, what I need to do. I actually don't need the scalability in that sense on the cave map, because I've already done it on the main menu map, which is the very first thing that it loads. So I don't need the big in play. I need to know if the level is loaded. Because if the level is loaded, then I can do all this stuff that I need to do. Or I could just add this to there. Nah. after it's loaded. Okay. So one thing at a time. Let's just see if what I want to achieve it's working. So, play this sound when it's unhovered. Select Q. Already bought. Scale by Q. Okay. So I want to play this song. Let's put new game and on hovered. Yeah, on hovered. And then on clicked. Okay. So on hovered, just play this song for me. And then on new game button, if it's clicked, yeah, clicked. Just load stream level by object reference. Okay, so that should be it. So if I play the game, I have this. I click start, I go to new game, I click it, and I probably need it to do in new editor window. No. I remember I need to do it as not in the editor, maybe a standalone game. I remember from another tutorial, because I already watched the tutorial, so I have some, understanding of this. Press start, new game. Okay, what's the problem? Oh, okay, never mind, me being stupid again. So, yeah, so after it's complete, take this whole thing, take the canvas. No, just remove from parent. I forgot to actually remove the widget from the screen. But remove from parents should do the trick. Yes. It does load. Okay. All right, something happening here. So cool. Okay. Making progress. No, no. Wait. Let's try in the selected viewport though. It doesn't do in the selected. No, because if I unload the main menu map, I have all these here. This is not persistent menu. I have to add the... Can I do that? No, it's already exists in the word. Okay, so no, I don't have to do this. I need to just remove from parent. That's fine. Okay, let's see that other tutorial where I seen the guy just... What was that? Mm. So don't do the player start here. Blueprint, visibility. Okay. My problem is that it shows the cave map, and I don't know why. And the camera is there as well, so it's not like loading that cave map there. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go to the other tutorial I've seen. Okay, I'm gonna create just a boolean here. Is map loading boolean, which is false by default, and I set it true when I click on it. So I go back here. Really don't want to use stick, but just for figuring things out. If I get that and make a branch. Then load stream level. Promote to variable. Map to load. I create a blueprint of this. Actually, in the maps, that's fine. And we call it VP. Yep, that's fine by me. And it's huge. I add a capsule, collision 0, 0, 0. If I save this, then it should be visible there. Cool. Okay. And I don't need collision for this. Okay. Do I move the whole thing or just... No, cool, okay. Want to spawn in there. That won't work. I'm pretty much sure about that. Player pawn to variable. Thanks. Okay. Hmm. I'm gonna reference it properly later on. Just not now. Like I said, it's harder than I thought. Dealing with stuff like that. Well, I'm making progress. Slow, but progress, nevertheless. The one thing I need to figure out after that, because this is just, putting the character where I want it. Create variable. Cave. Okay. Set up to location. Make visible. Okay, the thing I need to know, how to spawn after level stream is loaded. So I'm gonna grab some coffee and be back. All right, got an idea. So instead of this and that, we're gonna get an actor of class. Player start. We then check if it's valid. Not that one. The question mark valid. Yeah. So this is the return value. If this valid, then I want to spawn an actor from class. I think. And the spawn transform should be transform Not sure. A big maybe. It actually spawned in. Okay. Okay. But it feels like the game is paused. Let me check the sound. I'm getting there. Stream delay. I know that takes time. For some odd reasons, the game was paused. It works. It works. For some odd reason, my game paused. I probably... Yeah, I probably messed up something. Somewhere. With that. So... Yeah. No, I just need to figure out the camera. So I need to attach the camera to the blueprint. It should be blueprint. Oh, hey there. How are you today? I'm having a bit of fun with level streaming. I'm making good progress. At least now the game, it's actually loading in. So that's good. That's a good news. That's our good news. If I can figure out what's causing the problem here. It's prologue. Blueprints. Okay, one thing at a time. So this one's working. Problem is, what if I don't phone it? Begin play is working, yeah. Game is not paused, and it's not spawned in. Fine, that's okay. Is the camera not spawned in either? The camera is not spawned in either. Okay, I'm just gonna spawn in the camera then. Weird. The good thing, I don't really have to worry about the position of that, because it can spawn anywhere. Camera. If it's not valid, then spawn in somewhere. Oops, what's your problem? Oh, spawn. Let's promote this to a variable. Player start. Get player start. Yeah, the transform. Because it should just act like as it set it up. It should. The music is there. Okay. So what I'm doing here is to try to have the player already spawned in on the main menu. So I probably be able to. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem here though. Mm-hmm. Yep. So I do need this. Player start. Yes. Set it again. Player start. No. Yeah, not that one. Music is there. Okay. So this whole thing. Jesus, so complicated. This whole thing. Again. Yep. It's working. It does working. Oh crap. And okay, let me just clean this up. So I start with this. We don't need that one. Don't need that one either. Just to disable the input. Then we cast to the warrior. Don't have to spawn it anymore. And it starts the music to fade in. So we don't need to play at start either. And the rest is fine. I needed the camera reference for debugging, so it's okay. Cool. After that, I want game mode only. Probably I can remove it from here. Yes. Well, but it wasn't easy. Question now. So I don't need this. I do need to disable input. No, because right now I have a block here. I can pretty much just walk, and now I jump down. So if I hit play now, I'm not there anymore because I'll be able to walk in this floor at the moment, which isn't ideal. Let's just say that. I'm not even sure that I did it right. It's probably gonna have, I'm going to have some problems. No, I won't, because I'm there, and the next time I load up a map, I unload everything but the BP warrior, maybe? Can I? So if I hit play, can I just see all the loaded? Do not hide temporary actors. The BP warrior is there, so let's just try this out. It's not for actually this implementation of the things, but so let's say after I load here, I then check get actor not all actor, just get actor of a class BP warrior. It's easier because when so I just do a delay here, so I'm sure it's loaded. 1.5 seconds, let's say. I check if is valid. And if it's valid, then set actor location. Move to location or actor. No. I can't really do this here. Actor location. Set actor location. So if it's valid, just set the actor location and get actor location. I want to add, just split the structure. That's fine. I want to add, I don't know, 100. And this is the new actor location. So the purpose why I'm doing this, because on the next level that I'm going to load, I'm gonna need like a reference or so to get the player start location. I can always get, I guess, like the player start as well as a reference. I just want to see if this works in that way. Now my BP warrior should be further away, and I'm not sure if it's further away because I might just need to add 500. Or minus. Minus will be even more visible to my... Yeah, it's worked. Cool. Yeah. Okay. Done. Done. That's gonna work like that. Ah, crap. So from now, I just have to disable the input here. Let me just check if the cave map begin play works as intended, but it should work as it intended. I actually didn't check if I can go up and down, to be honest, because on this prologue map I am not able to move on the x-axis at all, just on the y. Yep, yeah, that's fine. Yep. Cool. Can't use anything. Fine. This is not easy, guys. So I disable input, and then somewhere I enable input. Yeah, I enable input here. But that's not it, though. I want to disable character movement here. So first of all, I don't need this. No, actually do. I do. Okay, so I can... Uh-huh. So what's happening here? I'm not sure if you can hear it from the stream, but I can move on this press start button screen if you hear the footsteps. But as soon as I entered here, because this is controller setup already, I can't move with my character because I'm controlling the UI. So what you would see when I start the game just now, that my character moved 2 steps to the right. So the only thing I need to do, really, is here, just grab the start menu. Like that. Do all these things in here as well. And change the widget focus to this. What's the name of that? UI start menu. It's not a button. It's a navigation horizontal box. That might be a problem. Yeah. It should be a button. But I can set the focus on this one as well. Let's try that. Okay. You can't hear anything from there. All right. Okay. Well, it should be. I can crank up the volume here for you just a bit. You should be able to hear that as well. So I'm just gonna do this. Let's go back to Unreal. Take this off. Come on. This is where set game paused. Yeah. Okay. Okay. There we are. There were we. That's why the game a couple hours ago, like 1 hour ago, the game was paused. It's here. This one. This shouldn't be here. Crap. I knew that I set a pause somewhere. But because I was actually copy-pasting my own code from a debug menu where I needed to pause the game was paused. So okay, let me know if you hear now. You should be hearing some background music. Some footsteps now. Bone crackings, stuff like that. Thank you. Okay. All right. So, yeah, this is just anyway, it's better to have like that, just in case. I actually want the game to be paused. I mean, I might want the game paused, so I just leave this here. It could be useless, but I like not to run the time when I have a widget on screen. Anyway, so yeah. And this is just not working at the moment because I actually need a button. I can create a button. I don't need a player start just now, and this is like loading. Not that, where is the, here. Loading. Nice. Let's create a button. Let's take this one. Put it here. Let's put it down there. Not there. Just on the canvas panel. And it's a controller support button. Overlay is fine, but I don't need a text. I actually don't need overlay either. I put it down there. 05. 05. I don't know, like this. 5. I just make it. Here, clear, clear. 0. I said 0. So normal is fine. 0. Fine. 0. Fine. Disabled. Fine. There's an alpha there. Heading, sound, color, 0, background color, 0 as well. Okay, I make it a variable. Let's get the button. Interesting. So can move. But it's not like I can just press A and go in. I actually have to press twice. So it not might be the best solution either. Press 1. Okay. Wait. Yep. Cool. Working. What if I just set the input mode to UI only here, and the widget in focus is gonna be this. And I don't need that one. Because after that, I set the game and UI. And then starts the begin play of the cave map. So I can't move the character. The way the prologue level is designed, you have to wait for the monologue to be over. Okay, cool. It works. Player controller tag. Oh yeah, I need a player controller thingy. There. Yeah, I can't move the character at all. I'm doing it, but it doesn't move. And I can't hit A because it's set to UI only. Yeah. That's different. That's so I don't have to click into. Did I have a construct here? Not even using it. Okay. Excuse me. Alright, that's set. That's been checked and it's working. So I can close this one. This is alright as well, just now. Don't need that one. Yep. Cool. I didn't want to use like that, but sometimes you just go with jank. So what I did, I set the walk speed of the character to 0. So I can't move while I'm on this main menu map, on the persistent one. Which is fine, because on the actual sub-level on the cave map, one of the first thing that I do is to set the max walk speed to 450, because it's a prologue level, so you don't move as fast as you should move on a normal level. So that works, and I'm pretty happy with it. And now, 2.5 hours later, now this is working and actually streaming the level in. I can create the loading screen I wanted to. And like I said, this loaded all the stuff in. Which we can actually check if it's the case, like if it's really loaded the widget in. So if I take off the widget menu from here, from begin play, we would just see a black screen and nothing else, because nothing is loaded apart from the camera, the player start, and the floor underneath the character. So it works. And that's what I said, because it actually loads really fast. Like, it loads really fast. We wouldn't see any loading screen here but I want to introduce a loading screen anyway, just for aesthetic, and also that it creates a sort of something happening sense of the game. Like, just imagine you playing the game like this. There is like a splash screen here. You press start, you have the main menu, you click new game, and it's just loaded. It's actually, well, for this it's actually fine, so I don't need a loading screen technically for this. But I'm gonna create it anyway on this stream because I'm gonna use one later on between two levels, after the cave map level and the city level. I'm pretty sure the city level will load some stuff in there, so I don't really need a tutorial for this. The only thing I need to check quickly if how the delay node works, but I think it just, so if I go back, which one was that? That one, yeah. If I go back here where I actually load the new level here, set the input stuff, I can just add a delay node here to show the loading screen. So I artificially creating a waiting time. Okay. Honestly, I can just pretty much create how do we want the loading screen? Just saying loading and an animation for it. What kind of loading screen we want to see? Do I want to do it in another widget, like a loading screen widget, and just referencing that one, or I want to do it in one thing? I might just want to do in one widget. It's just it's actually not easier in one widget, because if I do it in here in the main menu, then I can't really reference that. Question is, can I create widget here? Yes, I can. Well, in that case, it should be just fine, because I can get layer controller as well. Yeah. Okay, I create a new one. Probably based on this. Loading screen. Create the screen. So I have a debug menu. I have the HUD main menu, prologue closing, prologue monologue, and prologue opening and start menu. So I take this. I don't want it to be a variable. Okay. I like circle loading bars with numbers, percentage. Yeah. That's a good one. That's a really, really good one. I just don't need the animation for this background. I can just pretty much use a black background at this point, and later on I can put some image on there. It's going to code loading text, and I can get the Trobor, I think. Yeah, just in here. All right, I actually never used this before, so I just remember that we have something like this. Variance, number of pieces. 25 pieces. It looks good. I just don't like the way it looks. Yeah. Period. Higher number. Yeah. I want slower. Oh, no, I want it to be slower. Actually, the number is a good idea. With numbers percentage. The problem with that, the numbers percentage, I honestly quite not sure how AAA developers did that in their games, because as far as I know, there isn't any way to tell when a level is loaded. So when you use this load stream level, as far as I know, you can't tell and you can't track how many actors are already loaded in. I have no idea how they do it in games. Probably they do something in C++. I've seen one asset pack as well, like a loading screen asset pack on the store. Can you do a color gradient? What do you mean by that? Like making it what do you mean by that? Behavior transform. I don't need to transform. Clipping, navigation. Well, this is just an animation here, so it just, it's a circuit troubler. It just a circuit that do the stuff. it does not relate it to the data that a particular map is using. What is related though, because this is asynchronous. So if I put any kind of widget inside somewhere in this code, that widget will only be on screen up until the point where, so I'm telling the engine that when I start to load a map, please put a widget on the screen, and when it completes, when it finishes, please take off the widget from the screen. So in that sense, yes, it's not fake. It will be on your screen up until the point the level is loaded. Right now the level is loading so fast we wouldn't able to see it. That's why at least I'm just putting together a loading screen and just try it out with a delay node. So I'm artificially introducing a delay before the level is loading, but that's just for debugging purposes. Like it's transition from green to red. I can do that. Yeah. It's probably doable. Draw as an image, tilting. Yeah, I can easily do that with an animation. I'm not gonna, I'm just going to show you how it's done. So you take an animation, color, gradient, gradient, and yeah, if I can spell, you take this, you add a track, you add the thrower in here, and then you want it to be triggered. No, get a track from the slot, visibility, opacity. This is interesting because let me show you another one where I done that. So color and opacity, you see, you can do that, and you can pretty much just transition it with an animation from one color to another. I'm pretty sure you can do that in here with this as well. Probably you need an image here, and then you can do the tint just slowly make it transitioning from one color to another. So it's doable. I'm pretty sure it's an animation thing, but actually you need an image, and then you can reference the image for that. But I don't need this, not at this point at least. Today all I like to do is introducing a loading screen and try it out if it works. So I anchor it to the right, actually. To the left. Five. I'm gonna put 1.5, and then we see this somewhere. Okay. Where do I want the text? In the middle of the screen? I always hate when things are in the middle of the screen, to be honest. So I'm taking the loading text, just call it, yeah, display text, that's fine. There is a reason why I'm doing this. I'm going to show you why. So if I get a display text here, I can just say loading. We don't have that anymore because the background is not fading. What this does, this piece of code, is like a typewriter effect appearances. So pretty much the subtitle you see in the game. So that's the typewriter effect. So it basically just takes one letter, you get the display text, you get the length of it, and you add +1 to it. You get the substring of the full text, which is starting at 0, and after that you set the display text. When it's when this runs, you just basically check if the full text and the display text lengths are equal. If it's false, if they are not sorry, not the lengths. The lengths. If the lengths are equal, if it's not equal, then it goes back here, add another one, goes back here, add another one, and when it's full, nothing really happens. It just stays on the screen. So it's a pretty neat typewriter appearance for any kind of text, basically. Like, this is just, you need one text objective thing in here, and you want to bind it to the display text string. So I'm gonna take this to the left as well, like this. For a sec, I'm just gonna I need to see the length of it. So I can properly adjust it. 1.5. This is 1.5 as well. Yeah, this is terrible. Okay. Make it smaller. Not bad. 1.9. So if it's 1.5, then this should be 1.5 minus 1.5 as well. Minus 1.5. Is it? Yeah. Okay. Take this and just pretty much 5.5. But because it's half of the size, it just looks a bit bad. So we take this 12.5. And 5 maybe. 32 and 5. Yep, and we can move it a wee bit closer. Just want to check if, let's see that E, yeah, it could be 2. 2 is too much. Yeah. Minus 5.2. Too close. 5.5. Or bad. Yeah, I have a better idea. Let's take this to the right instead, because when I will actually have some stuff to work with, like I'm mainly thinking about some visuals on the top of this. It might just be enough to have one of these on the right hand side. Yeah. Like it more. So 5. Take this text as well to the right. There. We don't even need a text. Do we? Well, for trying out purposes, let's just put it in the middle. One, bind it to the display text. Okay, let me see the tutorial. 4711. Viewport. Okay. And when everything is set, we can just basically take and remove from the parent. So we take this, remove it from the parent. So that's it. So basically, in this logic, if I take that one, cool, yeah, compile, we don't even need these anymore, just that one. So the logic behind this, so when we click on this button, new game button, it will add to the viewport a widget called loading screen. Then this happens, but because you have this icon on the top right corner, that means that this will just doing its things, and it won't execute that part of the code just when it's completed. So if I would try to run the game like this, we won't see the loading screen because it loads so fast. So I go here. Yeah, maybe for a bit. Let me do this again. So it takes like half a second, maybe. Just really look at the right bottom right part of the screen here. So I hit new game again, and it's there. Just for a sec, it's there, but it's there. So that is an actual loading screen, because the loading screen is on the screen while the game is actually doing its loading time. Though, if I want to introduce a delay, I can just say I want this loading screen there for 3 seconds. I think this is the position for the delay. Yeah. So this is 3 seconds. That's it. And one thing that it's not doing well here is this. What did I mess up? Not that one. The content is display text. It's a variable. Yeah, sure. I actually need the not that one, the other map. Yeah, the full text. What is the full text? I have to declare the full text as well. That's why it's not working as I intended to work. Just sorry, forgot that. There are so many things that you have to consider when you're doing this. things. So I just promote it to a variable. I call it loading text. Yeah, loading text. And loading. So for 3 seconds, it stays on the screen, doing this, and then it's loaded. What games do you play? Question from Nickname. Good question. I like to play almost everything. It's because I've been a game journalist for almost 10 years. So I got used to just playing different kind of games and, write a critic about it. Mostly, though, I like to play competitive games, Call of Duty, Battlefield, Rocket League, not just now, but I'm a big sucker for Rocket League as well. I really like story-driven games. Like those are my best experiences I have in gaming. Recently, I replayed Final Fantasy VII Remake because the sequel is coming, and I really enjoyed it again, and I'm so hyped for the sequel too. So I like Japanese RPGs, but only if it's called Final Fantasy, unfortunately. I like post-apocalyptic, deep meaning, filled with deep meaning stories as well. So Last of Us, for example. What did I play recently? I really like superhero games. So Marvel Spider-Man 2 was playing a lot on my PS5. Cyberpunk. You play Counter-Strike 2? No, I'm afraid I'm not. And I'm due with a confession here, I think. So when I was a kid and 3-4 years old, I got my first console, was a Super Nintendo. And since then, I always played on a console. So I had a Super Nintendo, then a PlayStation 1, then a PlayStation 2, then an Xbox 360, PS3, PS4, Xbox One, and now PS5. And all the handhelds as well, like Switch. I have switched several times now. A PlayStation Vita and a PlayStation Portable as well. I see where I'm coming from with this, I think. So I always use the controller to play. And because of that, I never really played on PC. And I don't have the muscle memory to play with a keyboard and a mouse. I really can't play FPS games with the keyboard and mouse like at all. I like RTS games though, so sometimes I do sit down and play some of the RTS because it's just better with keyboard and mouse. MMORPGs are better with keyboard and mouse as well. There are just so many hotkeys and shortcuts for that, so it's almost impossible to implement them on a controller. But apart from MMORPGs, and RTS games, I don't really use PC. I only use my PC to actually develop games. But you can see I'm developing this game in a mind with controller support, and I actually developing it to a controller. You can use the keyboard and a mouse, obviously. It's set up that way as well. But I really recommend to play this particular game with a controller too. And I don't have anything against PC, don't get me wrong. Like, FPS games are better with keyboard and mouse. I could never ever beat a person who's using a keyboard and a mouse with a controller. It's just a fact. So, it is what it is. Well, I have only ever had a Wii and a Switch and a DS. I have a PC and that's it. Yeah, I like PC as well. But if I play on PC, I play on my controller. So that's the thing. I'm a controller guy. Let's play this again. Yeah, it's working. It is working. Ah, crap. Good. But again, right now, for full transparency, I introduced a delay here. I introduced the delay so we can see the loading screen. We don't need this at all, because it loads really quickly. Like really quickly. You can't even see it. But because you can't see it, that doesn't mean that on every PC it's going to load that fast. So I might still want to have a delay note here for this particular level to load. Maybe a shorter one. 1.5 seconds. I think 1.5 seconds is a sweet spot for anyone. Like, if someone can't wait 1.5 seconds to load, that's a shame. I don't know what you think, guys. I like seamless loading for sure. One of the best gaming experiences I ever had with open world games where I never seen a loading screen. But this is not an open world game. I'm actually going to comment it out so I will see later on as well. That part. Yeah, I just make a comment. Artificially. That's not how you spell it though. How do you spell artificially? Brain doesn't work. Artificially. I left an I. Artificially. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting tired. Artificially. Introduced loading screen. I make a comment of this so I know what it is when I come back later on. What is your PC specs? So I have an older 3930K processor. I think it's 6 core and 12 virtual core. It's been bumped up to 4 gigahertz, 4.1 gigahertz to be exact. I have 32 gigabyte RAM and a 1070 in my PC. Obviously, I need a new GPU. I was thinking about a 1070 Super, but right now I don't really need ray tracing for my PC. Okay, save everything. Let's try it out. So we hit start, we go for a new game, it's loading, and the game is there. That's pretty good, thanks. Thanks, it's been a couple years now. So I started 16 gigabyte. I started with HDD instead of an SSD. Slowly built it up. Yep, that's all good. And the next loading screen is going to be right after the screen goes black. Yeah, it's good. Okay, just before I close this stream, I give you guys like a sneak peek. We don't have to save the autos, it's fine. What? Don't save. These are just auto saves, so we don't need them at all. It's fine. So, this is a debug map here, and I actually have enemies here as well, but most importantly, I have a game mechanic that I'm going to expand a lot. So on that, you know, the cave map, you couldn't move like this at all, but because it's a 3D game, you will be able to move on the X as well. Also, you couldn't just attack. You will be able to just collect those red orbs, and from the red orbs, you will buy these skills. I just buy all these now, so I can showcase. You can dash. You can shoot as well. This is just a stun thing, so it just only stuns the enemy. But if you take the damage pistol, you are able to kill it, though the damage pistol is really doesn't do significant damage. Why did you decide to become a game dev developer? Game dev development. Well, because I was playing games since I was 3, and then I did game journalism for another 10 years, from age of 16 till 26. I was 26, 27 when I moved to Scotland, and when I ended my career. And for a couple of years, I didn't know what I should do, but I always felt that I have a huge knowledge in gaming, because I played a lot. As a game journalist, I played a lot of games, and I always find time for it. I have a really pretty good work-life gaming balance, so I can always play a game and play through all those games. And then I met a guy who was attending the game design course where we lived, and I felt like as a natural step forward for me, really. Playing games, criticizing games, and then just learning how to make them as well, and using all my knowledge that I up until the point I started to attend university, I just had a feeling about a game and why it's good, and now I can pinpoint it to a theory, to a level design theory, to a narrative theory. I have a better understanding of game development and how we actually create words and create narratives, and how we drive players, how we develop a game based on user experience and user research. So it's not just a feeling anymore. I actually have the knowledge of video game development, and because of that I can consciously develop games that I think it could be successful. Maybe not. I have just this idea. This is for my honors project. I almost finished university. This is my last term, basically last term. And I just wanted to challenge myself making a 2D, 3D fused game in Unreal Engine based on games from the 90s. And my research question basically, how to make a game that is originated from the 90s, from the Super Nintendo era. It kind of looks as a game from the 90s, but it's not a retro piece. It's not kind of preying on your retro hunger, but it actually offers something new to you as well. So yeah, this is just me doing things, and honestly, you will be the audience who tell that if I'm right or wrong. But that's the kind of game mechanic I'm going to build upon in the next couple of streams, where you see the camera just logs down like in any 90s game, beat 'em up games, where the camera's following you, then you suddenly enter an area in the game where the camera locks down, you can't move, you have to kill all the enemies to progress further. And this is the game mechanic I'm going to use and update it to be fun again, I guess. This showcase is awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I just try to make something that is fun, that you guys might like, and I really hope that I can release this game. Like, this is the plan anyway. So I have the skeleton enemies. Those are just really just obstacles. I have this other guy who vanishes and you can only see his shadows. So later on I will have a map where it's heavily emphasized to kill it. That's why the sun is in that really odd rotation, so I can see the shadows on this debug map. Then we have like this ranged enemy type as well. As you can see next to the health bar, if you just hit the enemy, it's just a cool thing. But if you, let's say, I ranged attack and then melee attack, it's a bravo. And if you dash in and if I can just, yeah, that's amazing. So that's a style system from Devil May Cry. It basically will give you reward at the end of the level based on your average style that you get. And then we have this, the slime. Don't worry about the slime. It's just an obstacle. It's basically a one hit with the sword. I was thinking to spice up a bit the difficulty, not by placing a lot of enemies, but doing something else. I'm not gonna spoil that because I'm still working on that. I'm not sure how to introduce it just now. The big guy hits a lot, like he hits big, and when he does that, you can't damage it at all. So you have to plan your attack and look for the attack pattern. As you see, this is simple. The reason why I made simple enemies, because it's a sort of remake of those games, of Super Nintendo games, Sega Mega Drive games. So I'm staying in a simple design and just trying to explore and discover things that I can introduce upon these mechanics that makes the game interesting and contemporary. So it's gonna be a simple game in that sense. But yeah, that's it. Just now. That's where I am. I'm pretty happy that I was able to actually implement the proper loading screens. I'm pretty happy about it. Excuse me. Okay, I think I'm gonna make a coffee. If you have any questions just now, please put it in the chat, and when I come back, I answer all those questions. And yeah, that's gonna be the end of the stream for today. All right, I'm really excited for your project. When is this project due? The project itself for university is due around May, but I have to be ready mid of April because I'm gonna do a grad show, and for the grad show I need a completed project. It's doable. What I'm planning in this project, it's pretty much be done, I reckon, around end of March anyway, so it should be fine. The release of this game, it's a whole other thing, because I still trying to find like a plan for that. It's going to be a really small game, so you can complete the game, like I said, in 1.5 hours maybe, so just a couple levels. It's going to be a small game, and because of that I don't think I'm going to use any kind of early access system for this. I might do a Patreon page or Kickstarter page maybe. I don't know. I need to think about it, and think about it fast though. If there's an interest for it. and then releasing the game throughout the summer, around September time, October time, I guess. And about the sprites, yeah, these are not my sprites. I'm a technical designer, so what I'm doing on these streams, implementing stuff. The sprites and the environment are free assets from itch.io and Unreal marketplaces. I'm gonna credit them because even though it's commercially free and most of the sprites are not even required to be credited, I really like how they look, and I'm really glad that I found one artist who made these cultist figures. The skeleton and the slime, I found them as well, but they are really, really on par quality-wise and theme-wise as well. Who did the cultist did the player character as well. And the 3D environment, those are just right now free assets that Epic released in January, I think. The cave map is from the January pack. And the other map I'm going to use is, I think it's just free. It's called Downtown West from Unreal Marketplace. Unfortunately, I'm the sole developer of this game, and because it's a uni project as well, I just don't have time at this point to do everything on my own. So I had to decide if I want to use assets or not, and I decided, yeah, I need assets, which is okay, I guess. Do you prefer to code with the nodes or with text? Okay, interesting question. What's next on your stream's agenda? So if everything goes well, let's go back to the streams. If everything goes well and I don't have any work to do on the Tuesday and Wednesday, then I'm going to stream around the same time, 10 a.m. UK time, on Tuesdays and Wednesdays as well. And I'm probably going to start working on the second level. The first stream, it might be a bit boring, I'm not gonna lie, because I need to change a lot of textures and material properties to make it look nice. And it's just me sitting here clicking on the interface. It's not a whole exciting thing, but I have to go through all the textures, and that's why at some point I need to sit down and just do this time-consuming task. But after that, I'm ready to do proper level design as well. But because I have this idea of introducing the story in an office kind of space before we go to the city level, I might just off stream I go to Epic Marketplace just now and looking for assets for that short map, maybe. I'm not sure, one of the two, but pretty much I'm going to stream on Tuesday and Wednesday if I don't have anything work related stuff. Right now I don't think I have anything at the moment. And if I prefer to code with the nodes or with text, it's different. It requires you a different kind of thinking. So with the nodes, for me it's more convenient because I can search, like, you know, if I just open up here just quickly the level blueprint, I kind of know what I'm looking for. So I want to do like casting, so I have this context sensitive search here, and if I just, you know, if the code is on the tip of my tongue, I can just quickly go through it. All right, I need the set actor location or something else. So it's really convenient in that way. It's not as flexible as coding in text, as you've seen during this stream as well. It's not as flexible, but it has its perks. Coding with text is different. You need the syntaxes. You can't do any typo in there. You need to be really careful. You go line by line. If you can't remember a part of the code, you go back and look up in the documentation. Unity has a really good documentation, so that helps a lot. Unity is actually really easy to use with C#. You just don't have to remember everything. Remember that you don't have to remember everything. Especially with Unity, is this almost the same thing. You kind of know what you're up against and what you want to implement, so you kind of remember the syntax as well, and just go to the documentation and search for it. With Unity, Unreal is different. Unreal's documentation is not good at all. There are not a lot of tutorials either for C++ programming. Now it's started to get populated, that kind of field as well. So it's a bit easier than a year ago, let's say, for some odd reasons. It's not a preference thing for me. It's more like what tool I'm using and why I'm using that tool. Basically, it doesn't really matter for me. Alright guys, I think that's it for today. I was just sitting here for like a minute and staring at my monitor. I'm pretty glad that you are following this. I was, I really like the fact that you guys are interested in this. I started to do the streams because I'm documenting my development, but it's actually really fun. And I never thought that my streams, especially at the beginning like this is my third stream of development, it's actually that popular as well. So thank you. Please keep coming back if you're interested. And I hope you will have a really good weekend. I sure just try to chill from now on. I need some time to reflect as well. So take care guys. Have a good one,